everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Tyranny. Last episode we went and completed Lantry's side quest, which involved him finding a bunch of berries and getting effectively stoned and seeing some old memories of his. Yeah. I kinda like him in a way, still. Anyway, now, well, our only options here... speak with Graven Ash, because he wishes to speak with us. Speak to Tunon. Speak to Graven Ash to deal with Barrack. And go to see the Voices of Narat to deal with Verse. Well, Tunon is the one we were working under, but then again we have... Oh, pause. 2 quests here in Iron Hearth, so... Let's go speak with Tunon and see what happens. I have a feeling things may get rough. We're coming here to go on trial, but let's see. Oh, goody. Oh, goody. This really is a trial for us. No more okay. This is an outrage. We demand to be heard. He said no more hearings will be held today. Okay.
Fatebinder, thank you for answering my summons. This could very well be the defining hour of the conquest.
Bow to Tunon.
I first want to make it clear why we've assembled today. After the collapse of Vendrian's Well and the start of the Civil War, it became clear to me that there must have been some great fault on the part of the Archons. We come together to root out the source of our troubles, and determine which of the Archons has sown more chaos during the war.
I think the answer to that question is obvious, Adjudicator. Giving voice to it here is but a formality to confirm what we already know. Tunon turns to aim what you can only assume is a stern look. He refocuses back onto you with cool stoicism.
Much has happened since I dispatched you on that mission. With Kairos' mandate that only one Archon may rule the Tiers, the verdict is now more important than ever. We cannot allow this conquest to descend into total anarchy. You backed Graven Ash and his disfavored army at the start of the Civil War. I know that you must have been torn in your decision, but I assure you that your loyalty to the Archon isn't in question here. Only your findings will be weighed with their due importance.
What would you know of me, Your Honor?
In your professional and objective opinion, which of the 2 Archons is guilty of sowing the most chaos in the Tiers?
Okay. I can't really consult the notes that I happen to have here, but truthfully, given the options, while Graven Ash may be guilty of some incompetence in some matters, the Voices of Narat has been actively working against Graven Ash much more obviously. And I would say the Voices of Narat Arcana secrets.
And so the charges are declared. I'm confident you've come with prepared arguments and research, as is expected of your station.
I won't stand here and patiently sit through baseless accusation.
In accordance to Kairos' legal custom, you will state the crimes against the Archon and offer up your evidence. The court will weigh your claims on their merits. I would encourage you to make as many claims as possible. Bringing charges against an Archon is no small matter. They are not accountable to Kairos' laws with the same rigidity as an average citizen, so it may be more difficult to justify their guilt.
Understood. I won't withhold any legitimate claims from the court.
Provided that you have the evidence to back them, of course. To make a claim lacking evidence will only harm your case in the court's eyes. Is this understood?
Yes. I'll back up my accusations with hard facts.
You no doubt recall the categories of infraction to which Archons may be held liable. They are sedition, incompetence, war crimes, and the hoarding of forbidden knowledge.
Rogalus nods to you.
It is not every day that we are called upon to determine guilt on such a scale. Tread lightly.
Then we are ready to begin. State your claims, Fatebinder. You may proceed at your own pace.
I accuse the Archon of sedition most foul. Sedition. No small matter to weigh against an Archon, but if you believe the Voices of Nerat has colluded with the enemy, then have on. Present your case, Fatebinder. The Voices of Nerat gave disfavored battle plans to the stalwart defenders.
Bah! As if any credible evidence could be dredged up from that junk heap of a realm. Whatever you found is probably so smeared or torn as to be illegible.
You found evidence of such a crime. Shocking that the Archon of Secrets would allow any trace to fall in wayward hands, but Stalwart is far from the Archon's reach. Simply fascinating. Do you have further evidence supporting the claim of sedition? Under the Voice's orders, Harchi and Braun smuggled iron weapons to the Vendrian Guard. Then the Archon of Secret's treachery runs deeper than even I imagined. I fear this news harms the very foundation of our offensive. Thank you for delivering it to our attention. The Scarlet Chorus aided the Unbroken during the Civil War. I found disfavored patrol routes on an enemy body delivered by Chorus agents. The Chorus gang boss swallows as you present the evidence and glances up at Tunon with mounting anxiety. Documentation is rare indeed in a time of war, where confusion and disorder reign. The court accepts this evidence of collusion. I make no more claims of sedition. The Archon has perpetuated vile acts during this campaign. I accuse him of war crimes. The Voices of Nerat has a tendency to interpret Kairos' law as he desires, but I hope this practice hasn't spun out of control. Tell me of these war crimes, Fatebinder. Jagged Remedy, The Scarlet Chorus raided disfavored provisions on the Stalwart campaign. Yes, a matter of starvation I seem to recall. The Chorus is notoriously undersupplied, but that seems the result of the Voices of Nerat's planning. I understand it discourages laziness or complacency.
The Voices of Design is not always clear, Your Honor, but that only contributes to its beauty.
Bloodmulch bows. You found the Chorus blameless in this matter. Why? Only to defuse the situation. Better that the armies save their aggression for the enemy. Much is done in the name of maintaining peace, and hunger is a powerful motivator. The court accepts your account. Do any other war crimes come to mind? Jagged Remedy was conscripting from the Unbroken when his forces were forbidden from the region. An infraction on the Stalwart territory to which Graven Ash placed his claim. This shows some disregard for the disfavored operation. Do any other war crimes come to mind? The Scarlet Chorus attempted to bribe me for iron weapons during the Haven campaign.
Yes, and the disfavored are blameless in this accusation, are they?
He points at Albatronus.
Ask her to justify the Legion's guilt.
Tunon simply stares at Bloodmulch until silence returns to the court. I do not take the attempted corruption of a Fatebinder lightly. The Scarlet Chorus should have known that this would come to light. Even in their schemes, they are short-sighted. I have exhausted my evidence of war crimes, Your Honor. Very well. Have you another charge to levy against the Archon? I have made my case to the best of my abilities, Your Honor.
Very well. I have weighed your evidence against the charges. You failed to make a case against the Voices of Nerat. Though you provided some compelling evidence, I'm afraid it wasn't sufficient to convict the Archon of Secrets.
Looks like your courtly training wasn't worth its weight in grain, Fatebinder.
Bloodmulch chuckles.
I know some hungry pigs who could teach you a lesson in oration if you're interested.
Outrageous! A fallen log could make a compelling case of the Voices of Nerat's crimes.
With that unpleasant business out of the way, we change course to another serious matter. One that puts into question your conduct as a member of Kairos' loyal followers.
Oh dear. A pity, but that is how it was.
You have made quite a name for yourself, Fatebinder. Stories of your deeds have spread through the tiers, and all of them have reached this court. Some actions have consequences. We will see what your actions have wrought. The court has its own charges to present, and invites you to answer for yourself.
Am I on trial, Your Honor?
Yes, and I would ready yourself to form a defense, because your testimony could augur your doom. The trial begins now. I recommend that you treat these moments with deserving gravity, as they might be your last. Don't attempt to lie or evade answers. I will judge you in the objective eyes of our Overlord. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
At least your civility remains intact. You are on trial for transgressing on the Overlord's authority, breaking the laws of the Empire, bringing mayhem to an otherwise orderly conquest, and meddling in concerns that fell beyond your station. Our directive to bring Kairos' peace to the tiers has suffered, and you will answer for the part you played.
If you don't mind, Adjudicator, we are on familiar terms with the Fatebinder here. Should any inconsistencies require our input, we will add our voices as testimony.
She nods to Rogulis and then turns to you with an unreadable expression.
The court has inquiries into your conduct. I first call your travel companions to speak on your behalf as witnesses to your character or accomplices to your crimes. Who will speak on behalf of the Fatebinder? The Ironclad Commander will step forward, if indeed he has the strength to walk.
You want me to speak, Adjudicator?
Barrick's armor makes a distinct rattling sound that echoes in the court as he steps forward.
I've been treated with fairness and respect. As fine as anything the Legion ever gave me. The Fatebinder trusts my counsel. I've never seen a finer, more upstanding member of the court.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf? Scarlet Fury, you who sacrificed your old life for this one, step forward.
Me? As if the likes of me has any business speaking in a grand hall before the Archon. Why, I've murdered enough folk to stack their bodies up to the podium 10 times over. Your Honor, the Fatebinder and I get along like a couple of cats. We scratch here and there, but there's respect to be had. Sometimes I think we agree on too much, but can't fight everyone. I suppose I've had worse bosses, and I suppose I've had better friends. But this one's something special. I've killed for him, and I'll do it again.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
Thank you, Verse.
Let the aged chronicler step forward.
If it may please the court, I will speak true. I have had the honor and privilege of shadowing the Archon. A dream come true for someone so eager to witness history in the unfolding. I can say, with conviction, I am following greatness.
And if required, I could produce my travelogue to back my claims. I have noted the good with the bad, and I think you'll find the Archon has been a force of order and balance. Exactly what you should want from a Fatebinder.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
Evidently not. The time has come for the Fatebinder to offer his testimony. I dispatched you to the realm of Stalwart to deliver Kairos' Edict of Storms to the Regency at Sentinel Stand Keep, a punishment for their continued resistance against the rightful authority of the Overlord. Yet you hesitated longer than necessary in its issuance, allowing the Regents time to stockpile supplies in their bastion while drawing the disfavored deeper into the path of eventual devastation. I hope to spare as many of the people of Stalwart, the farmers and merchants who weren't involved in the war, as I could. My mercy was for them, not the Regents. Farmers who fed the soldiers of Stalwart, and merchants who armed and armored them. The shadows wreathing the Archon twist about his shoulders. And in exchange the war in the Blade Grave dragged on, claiming many disfavored lives. A swift end to conflict can spare more than it claims. When the Overlord determines the necessity of an edict, it is not a Fatebinder's place to delay its effects. You resolved Kairos' Edict of Storms with a legal contrivance. What's more, you spared Stalwart's ruling bloodline, circumventing the edict's very purpose. Did you think the Overlord's fury was a riddle for you to unravel? Kairos didn't intend for the edict to last forever. No, indeed, but there were conditions to be met, and you cheated them. You subverted the Overlord's will to suit your design. That cannot be tolerated. You entered the old walls, a clear violation of Kairos' law. How do you answer for this perversion of justice? Do you think yourself above the wall? Above the law? Let me think. The transgression was necessary to complete my tasks. The law stood in the path of justice. The circumstances you describe have no precedent, but I trust your reasoning. Agents of my court are not immune to the law, but your position was an impossible one. At the city of Halfgate, you killed the garrisoned chorusmen who lawfully claimed it. A dozen of Kairos' servants bloodied the streets in your wake. They attacked me and hence violated Kairos' peace. I defended myself appropriately. I suspected as much. A pity you could not do so without eradicating Kairos' presence in the town.
I have one final question, Fatebinder. You were brought to this campaign to adjudicate the disagreements between the two armies. After your arrival, matters quickly escalated into a civil war. Did you knowingly join the conquest of the Tears to sow discord in your wake, or were you merely a victim of circumstance?
I apologize for the background noise going on. I would honestly just say no. You credit me with, I joined this conquest for the glory of Kairos, but I'm less certain that the Archons did for the same reason.
It's possible, even likely, that the Archons traveled south with their own agendas. I make no secret of the fact that the more worthy of the two would have inherited the Tears to rule as their domain under Kairos, and ambition got the better of them both. They were expected to conduct themselves in a professional manner, as were you.
Conduct aside, the fact that the Archon's corruption is an assumed fact speaks to the success of this Fatebinder's mission. I don't know about the rest of you, but I find that mildly encouraging.
I am finished with my line of questioning. Have you any closing remarks for the court?
Though I have ever strived to bring peace and order to this shattered region, I recognize that our work is an uphill battle, and well worth the struggle.
The way you frame it, the conquest sounds like a matter of true personal investment. Most curious. After weighing the charges, this court finds you innocent.
Oh.
Against all reason or expectation, I find you innocent. Your testimony was sufficient to justify your deeds, your self-appointed authority, and your undermining of Kairos' law. I can hardly believe it myself.
Tunon raises a trembling hand to his mask.
Adjudicator, are you unwell?
Rogulis takes a cautious step.
Leave him. I want to see how this plays out.
Kalia leans forward with interest.
Archon, your presentation in the court today has shaken many of my core beliefs. Things I held sacred under Kairos' law are now uncertain.
He looks at his gavel with a sense of bewilderment.
I once thought that Kairos was the sole overlord. The notion of rising to her echelon of power and influence wasn't a concept that existed for me. For anyone. You have proven her wrong. What's more, you understand justice and law better than she ever did. Better than even...
Upon his mask, the corners of his eyes crinkle as if in agony.
I am willing to accept you as my new sovereign, if you'll have me.
Well now, serve me as you served Kairos. I ask nothing more.
My loyalty is beyond question. I will do anything for you.
Funny thing to say when you just turned coat on your old boss. What say we just kill him just for the fun of it? I want to see what's under that mask. No, Verse. The adjudicator is ours now.
My gavel and my justice are yours. I will execute your laws as you draft them, show mercy as you see fit, and bring to ruin all who would reject you.
I can honestly say I didn't see that coming. Oh. This I probably should have. Silently, Bledin Mark seeps from the shadows. He glides forward, palming two black-bladed daggers as his eyes dart between you and Tunon.
Adjudicator, kid,
He greets the both of you with a curt nod before stating his claim.
allow this blade to cut to the point. I have an objection, or two.
He twirls both daggers, fingers moving deftly in and out of shadow, the movement nearly hypnotic and wholly blurred, and all the while his brightly burning eyes bore into yours. Buddy, old pal of mine, what's the problem? Slowly, he swivels his head to the side, staring at you with a single-minded intensity. His muscles coil tightly. He is a black adder poising to strike, but then he shucks in a sharp breath and the tension slithers from his body like a shadow retreating from the light.
Don't distract me while I'm on the job, kid. Look, it's not like I have a grudge against you. I just can't let you live on Kairos' orders. I'm sure you understand.
Kairos' mandate doesn't require either of us to die. We only need to bow to one another. Tunon is willing to swear to me. Why won't you?
I would not so readily hand my leash to another. Really? Did you think I would allow myself to be used by someone like you? That you could send me to strike at the Overlord? No. I would feel your blood pool beneath my feet first.
It would appear the court headsman is determined to make his stand. Under normal circumstances, I would curb this behavior with a swift execution. However, we have long since abandoned normalcy. There will be a trial by combat then. Bledin Mark's claim against your own. Justice will win out, and the will of the true Overlord will be evident for the living to witness. You may begin when ready, Archon.
You don't have to do this. Neither of us has to die here. Without further warning, the Archon of Shadows dissipates into darkness. The lights in the room flicker and dim as he surges forward in attack.
Your trial begins anew, Archon. Prepare to defend your title, your innocence, and your very life.
Very well then.
To battle!
And
Holy shit! Focus!
back up. And do switch your weapons out for the bow. You, how about you get a haste on you? You, I want you to cast... oh, you did cast. Cast that on.
As you command.
Feast my iron!
You, get your lightning on.
How did I miss that?
You get that on.
I got it.
That's one.
You actually swap out for the bow. Let's get more of these spells cast.
Good aim.
Oh, now I have to kill you.
Will do.
You got it.
Out of the way, please.
Count on it.
Too old for this.
Oh, hello, you have allies now.
You dent!
You got it.
couldn't wrap me
Now I have to kill you.
If I had kids, they'd be feeling that one.
Alright, let's do some damage to this particular group. Since we can. Back, back, back. Get out of the way, please. Can you heal yourself? You can. Please do.
Aren't you?
Try and focus on getting that one good, please. You're doing a lot of damage here.
off me.
Still not enough. And you missed entirely, which I don't know.
My wisdom is finally catching up to my head.
And we got more of these allies in this town.
I hate doesn't.
Are you afraid of death, worm?
Count on it.
Bit by bit, we're whittling him down.
The trick is to get twisted till you hear.
You are finished!
You got it.
Hurts when I hit.
We're making progress.
Hurts when I hit.
Wait, I did that?
Fall before me!
We are actually doing surprisingly well here.
On your knees, worm!
Squirrely bastard, aren't you?
Probably should have chosen the lore option that there was. And here comes some more. Easy just does not end.
Hurts when I hit. Doesn't.
Just point me in the right direction.
Hurts when I
You,
hit.
if you don't mind, distract him.
It's a hit!
The trick is to keep twisting till you hear the snap.
What are these guys? Creatures of darkness.
Probably more force than was necessary.
Where is he? There he is. Alright, whittling him down bit by bit. We're getting him.
The trick is to keep
May have
twisting
come here a little
till
too
you
soon,
hear
but
the
regardless.
snap. Hurts when I hit. Doesn't.
See that? I'm not entirely useless. Of course.
Hurts when I hit. Doesn't.
I got it.
My god, will you die already?
Hands off me! I'm fine! I'm fine! I don't need that rip to drive.
I did not see that coming. I'd better not wake up dead.
The trick is to keep twisting till you hear the snap.
Did she just die? That's not good.
That one rattled me hard.
The trick is to keep
Do revive her, please.
till you hear the snap.
I see.
God, please, just kill him.
The trick is to keep twisting till you hear the snap.
Smack him, pieces!
And more of them.
Hurts when I hit, doesn't it?
I think that one hit bone.
We have almost gotten him. Please finish him.
How did I miss that?
What the hell?
Hurts when I hit, doesn't it?
I'd better not wake up dead.
She's down again. We've almost got him, I think. I think we did. What just happened? Shadows. Okay. Finish him off, please.
See that? I'm not entirely useless.
Golden, glowering eyes wide with surprise, the Archon tumbles to the ground, coughing blood as dark as the shadows that billow and ebb around him. He clutches at his shattered ribs and grins.
Look at you. The surprise of a lifetime.
He gasps, drowning as his lungs fill with blood. The light in his eyes dims as his pupils seep blackness, expanding to fill the whole of his eyes. A look of meaning passes between you, his fingers digging into the ground.
Don't die too easily. Won't look good for me. This brightness is blinding.
Master, if you'll join me upstairs, I will pledge fealty to you in the lawful manner.
Indeed. Let us go upstairs. This episode is going to go a little long, but I believe we must. We shall accept Tunon's fealty.
Archon, change has come to the Tears, and in time it will reach the Empire itself. You are the agent of that change, and even I could not have predicted what impossible heights you would reach. The time has come to take up the gavel and usher in a new age of structure and law to the Tears. You will henceforth define justice for the rest of us. I will follow your lead and endeavor to follow your design.
Your loyalty and confidence are appreciated.
As the ruling Archon of the Tears, I submit to your authority and thank you for bringing order out of chaos. Go and represent the strength of law. Be the example the Tears require, the force that keeps them together, and the hope for their future under one rule. Let your justice know no mercy but that which you impose. Civilization itself will bend according to your design. Never forget this.
Well then. Seems you can't speak with him now, but
On it.
I'm somewhat content with how that went. And it looks like we have a body left to investigate. Not really much there. Do you three have anything to say? I don't know what's more impressive, that Tunon humbled himself before you, or that you managed to get so deep under his skin. I've tried baiting him into arguments in the past for my own amusement, but you've made an occupation out of it. What can I do for you? How do you think the court will fare without Blood and Mark? The court ought to learn the lesson that the Empire already knows. Everyone is replaceable. As long as we keep that in mind, I'm not so worried about the court. Compelled the adjudicator himself to kneel, did you? Impressive work. The last person who did that. Well, enough said. You look as if you have questions. How do you think the court will fare? Better than ever, I hope. Without the dependable aid of an unkillable assassin, I'm sure we'll stumble along the way. The court itself will have to be stronger if it expects to survive, and that sort of change is always welcome. So you convinced even mighty Tunon to bow and accept your version of justice. Best of luck assuming your new title, Jason Pendragon. I cannot say if I will follow you to whatever ends you propose, but I will observe and judge my own course. And how do you think the court will fare? For all of its wisdom, the court places too much emphasis on fear and paranoia to keep legal precedent in check. It will be interesting to see how we navigate this new world you've carved out for us. The court does not lack for teeth and claws when needed, but for now our shadowy blade is gone. Indeed. And with that, I am going to end this episode here. Next episode, I believe we need to go and speak with Graven Ash. He is allied, and he may also bend fealty to me. This will be interesting. But first we need to sit to rest, and that'll be in the next episode, because this one's gone on long enough. So, until then, I'm Cheswick44. That is Jason Pendragon, Barak, Verse, and Lantry. This has been a Let's Play of Tyranny, and I shall see you all next time.